Whitman, and Rockland. And it's fascinating because now one of the things I do is house surveys. So I'm currently doing a house survey on a house on the corner of Harvard Street and Auburn Street. Mm-hmm. And in finding out that was built by a Major Micah White back in 1817.
Who would that be?
Well, Micah White turns out that he was a pretty interesting guy. He was a constable, a tax collector for the town from like 1809 right up to 1817. Mm-hmm. And Micah was collecting the taxes. Of course, a little different back then. You would run into him at the grocery store and you'd say, "Oh, I need to pay my taxes." And you'd hand him the $10 and he'd put it in his pocket. Now, what he was supposed to be doing was handing it into the town.
I feel like you said
he was building a house.
Oh, wow.
So in 1817, the town treasurer, Sam Norton, found out that, ooh, we're missing a little bit of money here.
No kidding.
So he went back in the tax collecting rolls and found out that Mr. Micah White had not been paying his taxes. In fact, he had been building this very extraordinary house on the corner of Harvard and Auburn Street. Now, in doing the history, we find that the house sits here, and we know that East Bridgewater, if you go down Harvard Street, is probably another third of a mile down. Mm. Well, before the boundary lines were set, Bridgewater was just across the street. So at one point, the man left his home in Whitman, or left his home in what was then South Abington, and went to Bridgewater. But the Bridgewater line was right there, so all he had to do was cross the street to get to Bridgewater.
So they had no jurisdiction on him?
Well, they did. They actually took him to court, and they did recover a lot of the money. And all of that paperwork exists up at Dyer Memorial Library.